Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, the talk is always tuned up, and I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling and saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and those what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We're shifting into drive this morning right here on Motormouth's Morning Drive. So stick around. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We have a lot of asphalt to cover in a short time to get there. I think I've heard that somewhere before. Anyhow, thanks for joining us this morning. You've made it to the weekend. If you're one of the weekend warriors like me, I work every weekend. Get in the queue for the drive-through and make sure you really test your order this morning. Double check it. In fact, when you put the order in, have them read it back to you. That works extremely well. It does. It kind of reduces the opportunity for stuff to happen. So get your morning beverage together. We're going to have our own morning swiggy in just a moment. If you're joining us for the very first time, that's how we do that. We have our breakfast swiggy together. So whatever your favorite morning beverage is, put it together. Get that together while I entertain, and I'll be back with you in a moment, and we'll get things happening. 16-pack of Crayola crayons and a brand new flattened-out leaf bag is going to be your Car Connection workshop laptop, and that's how you can take some notes without having any issues with pens running out. That's irritating. Why do they make pen and pencil holders anyway? When pens, it's really actually just a case to hold pens that don't work. Am I the only one that has that figured out? Yeah, it's like flashlights. Your regular battery type flashlights, they're just containers for dead batteries. That's what I figured out. Anyhow, lots to get through this morning. It is Q&A Saturday. Thank you to all of you who have been participating without fail, sending in your questions by noon hour on Fun Friday so that I can sift them and pull out what I think are three of the most favorite questions that others are probably thinking but not saying, because that's what happens. So if you're just joining us, the rule is if you have a question that you would like me to potentially record the answer on Saturday's Q&A, you need to get those questions in by noon hour on Friday. It's niall@ccbusnet.com or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. And if you're going, the guy talks too fast, how am I supposed to write that down? I got you covered. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat the little stuff. Remember, yesterday we talked about turning shrubs into trees. All the information that you need to follow, connect, and if you'd like to follow along with the build and repair work that we do and learn about our program partners, we have that all covered. I take care of all the titles and descriptions of our YouTube videos and our podcasts, so I place that information there for you. Everything is there for you to connect with us. If you'd like to donate and support the program, we now have a donate link available at buymeacoffee.com/Motormouth Niall, N-I-L-E. So again, all that information is in the description of our YouTube videos and all our podcasts here on iHeartRadio and Amazon, Spotify, Apple, Podbean, and wherever you're pulling your podcasts from. Just type in the search box Car Connection Workshop and you'll find me. Also, all of our podcasts are up on our YouTube channel. So every day when I record a new podcast, schedule it, edit, title, all that stuff, and put all the links in there. the podcast is already up on our YouTube channel. So the homepage of our website is where you want to land to be able to connect with us. And that's where you'll find all the logos for our program partners that make this podcast and our YouTube channel possible. And yes, I will always give thanks to our program partners and those who are partnering with Car Connection to make more ways for you to watch, listen, and engage. In other words, they're the ones picking up the tab right now, and they're very important. But if you would like to pick up the tab and you don't want me to do commercial breaks, then I'm okay with that too. Just send along the information and we'll be happy to set up an e-transfer for you so that you can keep us on the air. So it's unbelievable the things that people pitch at you. 32 years now doing what I do. It's talk radio. So if you don't like that, this is probably not a channel for you. But if you want to own and operate an older automobile and get a better understanding of the basic fundamentals so that you can save money and get out of the car game, trading time for money and making a stupid car payment, if they could give us something that was worthy of the price right now, that would be a good place to start. But my goodness, I was just talking to someone yesterday. $1,500 a month car payment. Jeepers. I didn't pay that much for my first house at 17.93%. My mortgage was only 8 and change, but it all went to interest at that time. 17.93%, friends. Yeah, that's not, I'm not making that up. That's from the 80s, all right? Like 80s hair bands, leather pants, zipper ties, that kind of thing. Yeah. And mullets, I didn't have one. I want to clarify that. I did not ever have a mullet. So on our homepage, you'll find we're rebuilding our Car Connection Business Network. So if you're a business owner, small business, medium, large, get in touch with us wherever you are. Now we are wherever you are as well. So, being fully digital, there's no circles to deal with anymore. Like in this circle, you potentially have 100,000 listeners, potential of reaching 8.2 million people. Potential. But they got to be in the circle. Yeah, so now, because we're not on radio networks, we're on the digitals, we're 360 degrees. Sorry, flat earthers. Yeah, we're 360 degrees on this rock we're spinning on. So you can catch us anywhere around the world. On our podcast, we have people listening from Peru, Bangladesh. There's a whole whack of them. And I'm like going, wow, we know those people? Do we send them should we send them a card? I don't know. Top right-hand page of our homepage, top right-hand page. You know what I mean, top right-hand corner. Yeah, that's it. All the links are there for our YouTube channel. And now we have like 500 proponents there for you to learn all the basics about automobile ownership. And yeah, it doesn't matter how old that vehicle is. Mileage doesn't matter either. It's maintenance. So no maintenance, no vehicle. It's that simple. And I like to use the flying world as a great example. A lot of these tragedies, plane crashes, are because two things. Lack of knowledge working the plane and lackadaisical maintenance. Yeah. Overseeing, overlooking, whatever you want to call it. I just call it, you know what, you're not doing your damn job. Period. Yeah. How does a plane come out of the sky because the fuel's contaminated? How does that happen? If somebody's making sure that the plane is top drawer and going through the maintenance checklist, come on. That stuff shouldn't be happening. Stuff shouldn't be falling off. Things shouldn't be as they weren't, and things shouldn't be bent, buckled, loose, or not working, or partially working. Yeah, this is the reason why. It's a maintenance problem. So we have the same issue with automobiles. If if you don't want to learn how to take better care of and be a really good caregiver of your automobile, then you're probably just going to need a big stinking pile of steaming cash so that you can go and buy another one after you wreck that one, and then you'll wreck that one, so then you'll have to go buy another one. And that's the car game. So this podcast is probably not for you. So if you're not interested in looking after your vehicle and saving money and not buying cars continuously and making payments, yeah, this podcast is probably not for you. You should probably find, something like noodle art, crocheting, or butterfly catching is picking up steam. Yeah, it's getting popular. But don't hurt them. So top right-hand corner, any time of the night or day, click on our, I'll get it out in a minute, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are the automotive experts on that website, created by our very own videographer, Skippy. And that's been helping for a number of years now, connecting quality businesses to quality community. I can't say consumers, because that's our shtick, Skippy, if you're listening. That's our shtick. You can't own that. But it's a great place to visit, because that's where the zoo is. Safari Niagara is there. That's a big draw, and lots to do, lots of eateries in that town, and lots of really cool people that do really cool stuff. That's what I'm saying. So on our YouTube channel, just to make it clear for everyone, the videos are teaching videos. I break down basic vehicle maintenance. So simple things. I keep it super simple for you so that you can fully understand what it is, where it is, how it works, how you broke it, so that you don't break it next time and end up costing you money on the same component because you didn't know really how it works. And if you haven't listened to our series on how to use your vehicle's air conditioning system properly, we got some hot, steamy weather coming in. You might want to review. It was a 4-part series I did back in May. I think it was late April, early May, but they're all up on our site. Watch every single one of them, because most of you folks, I'm going to say 99% of you folks, have no idea how to use your vehicle's air conditioning system properly so you don't break it. Because that's generally what happens. You need to understand what maintenance needs to be done. It is not a maintenance-free system. And number 2, how to turn it on properly and how to shut it off properly. And when you don't, you break it. So, and it's expensive. Air conditioning is an expense and a luxury. And I can tell you this year, the price of parts will make your eyebrows flutter. I kid you not. So you do not want to have your vehicle's air conditioning system go down this year, because there are no 4-for-1, 3-for-1 specials. The price on parts is out of this world. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow. Our Car Connection maintenance schedule kit is hot and running on our website. You have to order it through me, and we ship that out directly from our studio. All our other merch is shipped out by Freedom Expressions. Do a wonderful job putting items together. I'm just reviewing some items right now and some changes that I want to make. But you purchase some merch off of our online store, which is, again, in the top right-hand corner of our website, which is carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. CCBUS is in Sam, NET.com. And again, all that information is in the descriptions of our YouTube videos and our podcasts. Emails, all of it is there. We're at about 70% on our subscriber list. Many of you are enjoying the videos, and I really appreciate that, and the comments that are coming through. Thank you very much. And just remember, if you're having a bit of a rant or a bad day, or your underwear's too tight, no curse words on the comments, okay? Keep the attitude good as well. Remember, your attitude determines your altitude, and just mean people suck. Yeah, I made that bumper sticker. I want everybody to know that. So keep your comments clean. If you, like I said, if you're having a rant or you want to disagree with me, that's fine, but disagree with me politely. Politely. Don't make me ban you from the YouTube channel. I don't want to fire you, okay? I don't want to do that. You know what I just saw yesterday on YouTube? A video on a shop that fired a customer. And I thought that was really funny, because I was just sharing that story with you like this past week. I'm going, is Big Brother really listening? All of a sudden, I got this thumbnail on YouTube's, and it's about a shop owner firing a customer. I'm like, wow. Somebody else did it too. So, yeah, let's play politely. And if you haven't subscribed, would you help Skippy and I get to our first 1,000 subscribers? Because that's when things really start to unwind for us and we're able to do a whole lot more. So if you haven't subscribed, take that moment, would you, sometime this weekend, and subscribe? Because if all of you subscribe, we'd probably be at our 3,000 subscribers, not our first 1,000. So we'd really appreciate it. We've hit the halfway mark, and we've been working 80 plus hours a week to build things and bring you more and more and more content. And yes, we have worked really hard to create our videos and keep them around 15, 17 minutes. We both feel it's better that we give you 2 shorter videos than kill you with 1 long one. Because I'm the same way. I like watching certain videos and creators online, but I don't have an hour and 52 minutes to sit there and burn that off when I've got so many more things to do. So we're working hard to be conscious of your time with our YouTube videos. So everything is there for you. Help yourself. If you ever need to throw a question out during the week, use my email address. I check emails a couple times a day, and I will get back to you. I also check my comments as well on the videos. So, and thank you for signing up for our podcast. Share us all around the world, would you? All right, let's get into our morning beverage, and let's get motoring. That's enough rambling on this morning, because I can't have coffee for an hour until, an hour after I wake up. It's this cortisol thing. Yeah, it turns you into a big fat pig. Yeah, you got to read up about that, cortisol. So I want to say thank you to all our program partners all at once so that we can really get into the program this morning. And again, they are the ones that have made the switch from radio in 2025 into 2026. Without them, we couldn't have done it. It's that simple. We could not have done it. And thank you to Skippy, who volunteers a lot of time and shooting videos with me and laughing and throwing stuff at me behind the scenes. She doesn't video that stuff. Yeah, we have a lot of fun shooting the videos, but it is a lot of work. And thank you to Skippy for all that she does. We appreciate her. City Auto Sales and Leasing. That's your safe go-to place. Husband and wife team, Earl and Louise Grant, providing you with low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. That's how they've earned the title Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. In-house leasing and financing available. If they don't have the vehicle you're looking for, let them know what it is you're looking for. They have 25 years in the business, and they've created some very loyal resources to find quality vehicles for us. So you can buy with confidence, be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. Thank you to our certified financial planners, bringing clarity to those things that surrounds money. How many of you have intense moments of fellowship with your partner? I'm going to say probably 9 out of 10. I'd probably be pretty close, because 9 out of 10 of you don't even have an estate plan. Yikes. And you have kids at home 18 years of age and older, and you don't have them set up, yourself set up as being their health proxy. That's a problem, friends. That's a problem. So that's why Tony Miele and Larry Tetro have 50 years of experience. They're fiduciaries. They're certified financial planners. That means they understand the tax laws. They understand low risk, medium risk, high risk when it comes to your investment portfolio. They know how to get your hard-earned money working hard for you instead of you working hard for it. So if you have questions on that, dealing with debt, estate planning, a mortgage. I don't do bank mortgages anymore. They don't treat you like a human being. Yeah, they do at IG Wealth Management. Their mortgage department in Winnipeg is fabulous, and the rates very competitive. And there's a whole lot more. If you don't have life insurance, critical illness insurance, you really need to consider that. And I can honestly say I have all those things covered because of my brothers from other mothers, Tony Melly and Larry Tetro. I've known them well over 20 plus years. So engage with that hour and a coffee, because this is where creating a budget to fix your car, creating a budget to buy and replace the older car when the time comes, that's what they can help you with. All those things to help keep the cash flow going, because cash flow is king. In the household, in business, cash flow is king. You got to know what's coming in, what's going out. Get that hour and a coffee, no condemnation. And here's the thing. Leave your wallet at home and your money. They're not going to be asking you for a dime. So get that set up, folks, and let's start getting people back on track with your finances, because I hear it all the time and have for 32 years. How are we going to pay for this, honey? We don't have the money for another car. How are we going to get this car? We can't go without a car. We have to have a car. And there's no money. And it's tough standing there as a tech and a shop owner watching this and going, I wish I could hand you the money, but I can't. You know, you got to, again, cash flow is king. It really, really is. So thank you also to the Grimo family at Niagara Block 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Kathy, David, and Dan Grimo, great people to connect with. They've been building Canada since 1931. They are the next generation of Niagara Block. And if you're looking to create a building of some kind and you need blocks and materials, they got it. If you're looking to create that beautiful backyard space that you've always wanted, you know, a place to hang out, and a lot of people are doing that now, and that's their vacationing spot. And it's not so bad. I have a nice spot that I like to hang out. The backyard is you've got privacy and a place to sit and just be. It's great. I love it. So Hardscape Landscaping Materials, they have every single thing known to mankind to put together that beautiful backyard space, including, if you talk to Kathy Grimo, she has a list of contractors that you can count on to estimate the job, put the whole deal together, start to finish, and then you can enjoy that beautiful space that you've always wanted. So thank you to all of you that are supporting our program partners, because as I've already said, without them we would not be able to do what we do, and that is with our Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube channel, and the podcast. So give them your business, and you'll be glad that you did. And get that hour and a coffee set up. It's a discovery meeting, so be prepared. They'll prepare you for it. But I also want to make mention, Tony and Larry have been in the business a long time. There's not much that you're going to say that they haven't dealt with, but they don't need any more clients. They don't. But they have teams that can take good care of you, and they want to be that instrument to help you to get back on your feet, get things organized, and don't give up. Don't give up. You know, I've told part of my story with regards to finances, and one of these days I'll share the whole thing. But what I'm saying is, you need to get with someone that has the credential CFP, because I lost a lot of money. The bankruptcy company made me bankrupt, and it should never have happened. For the sake of the short story, $11,000. I only owed 8 more years on my home at the time, and they put me into bankruptcy, and that haunted me for 7 years. And I lost my investments at that time because the rules were different. Done. I was wiped out because someone told me that I needed to go see this person, and then that person said, no, I can't help you, go and see this person. And I did, and within an hour my whole financial outlook was destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. So don't do it. Don't do it. Sit with Tony and Larry and let them look through it, because it was Tony and a young chap that worked at IG with Tony for a while. Dominic dug into what happened, and I remember the day that he called me and he said, Niall, he said, I'm going to be in the area. Can I stop by for a quick cup of coffee? I've done some research, and I don't like what I found, and you need to know what happened to you. And we sat at my kitchen table, and Dominic undressed what they did, and it was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. And at that time, my bank manager, when I told her what happened, she goes, we could have fixed that like within an hour. We could have taken care of that 11K. You would have been perfectly fine. So I share just the short story because if that's you, don't let it happen to you. It's so important that you attach yourself to people in life that are really good, solid referrals, that know their craft, and they're looking out for you. Not looking to see what they can get from you. They're looking to see how they can help you in whatever it is, whatever profession. Okay, let's jump into, did we have our morning beverage? I don't think we did. Way to go, Nilo. Oops, you were not supposed to know that. Yeah, it's okay. I have certain friends that call me Nilo, okay? Now you know. They call me Chef Nilo, Pizza Nilo. They really like my pizza, my homemade pizza, so they call me Pizza Nilo. But anyways, that's my other nickname, my moniker, just for certain people, okay? All right, on 3, 2, 1, let's do it. You ready? 3, 2, 1. It's not hot anymore, and I can't microwave it. Otherwise, it's no good. No good for the body. All right, let's jump into weekend weather. And thank you to our program partners again, because they mean a great deal to us and should to you as well, because we're not sending you an invoice for the time and materials. What do we got going on today? We got 0 on the rainometer in the Niagara region, the south shores of Lake Erie. 58 degrees now and sunny. Really? Okay. Yep, the sun is up. Yep, 58 degrees right now and sunny. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 4 p.m. today, and today's temperature range will be from 57 to 80 degrees, and it's going to feel more like 57 to 83. So it looks like we're going to tap out today at 80 degrees, overnight low 57, so that's nice for sleeping. Keep the windows open and the air conditioning off. Let's see what we've got for Sunday, shall we? Because it is weekend weather. On the rainometer, again, RAIN, 0. That's good, because 0 in any language is still 0. Did you know that? Yeah. So if your bank account registers 0, just know that all around the world they share the same 0. Sunday's low will be 62 between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m., and the high will be 82 between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. The temperature range is going to feel more like 61 to 83. This is for Sunday. It will feel warmer than the actual temperature. We've got some hot weather coming in, so that's why I thought I mentioned, if you don't know how to use your vehicle's air conditioning properly, like 9 out of 10 if you do not, get into our YouTube channel, watch all 4 series. They're about 15 minutes a piece, and I break down all about your vehicle's air conditioning, how it works, how you use it properly, how you shut it down properly, which is critical. That's absolutely critical that you learn how to shut it down properly, because that's where breakages happen, and it's going to cost you big time. So if you love your vehicle's air conditioning system, you need to make sure that you watch those videos so that you know how to use it properly, and prevent yourself from expenses that you don't really need. Now there's just looking here, there's a weather something advisory. Oh, that was just for the other day. Yeah, we had 2 tornado warnings. We were in a yellow advisory this week twice. Yeah, I guess in the northern country, in cottage country, they've had some pretty nasty weather up there in the north and some wicked winds. So always check the weather where you're going. It's like boating and it's like flying. If you're a private pilot or a captain of your vessel, and it doesn't matter what size it is, fellas, you need to check the marine weather before you even dump it in, because things can change in a hurry. And I'll tell you, I have been out on Lake Erie in 15-foot swells, and I had to take over the driving because the captain of the ship didn't have the confidence to bring it in. Didn't know how to manage the waves because there's a special way to do it. Otherwise, you're going to swamp out your boat and you're going to be at the bottom of Lake Erie and swimming. And 15-foot swells are a little creepy, but you've got to keep your wits about you and make sure that you follow the weather pattern, marine weather pattern, not shore weather pattern, the marine weather pattern. So if you're out there with the kids doing some fishing and some touring, make sure you make a plan before you leave the dock. All right, enough said on that. I'd say, are you ready to cover some questions? There's some whoppers this morning. And I want to thank Cheryl and Tracy and Robert. The ladies are just killing you guys, honestly. They're the ones that want to know more about their car, but I guess the guys are they're the know-it-alls. And the ladies, they don't mind asking. And I'll tell you, when all the years on radio, if I asked a woman that's called in live with a question, can you describe the sound to me? Nail it. They wouldn't even need to record it. They knew the sound that their vehicle would make, and they weren't embarrassed to kind of reproduce it. Perfect. Guys, they just grunt and hand you the keys. Well, when does it make the noise? Okay. How often does that happen? It's guy talk. But when you're a tech, you kind of need a little more than a grunt and hand me the keys. For the ladies, they crush it. Yeah, they'll just boom, just like that. When does it happen? Oh, when I turn right and I'm doing about 10.5 kilometers an hour. Oh, you got that nailed down. They do. So, ladies, you're doing a great job. Keep asking the questions, and we'll keep your car running forever, sweetheart. All right, Cheryl asks, question 1, and I read them out as I get them. So if there's grammatical errors, it doesn't matter. Okay, so those who are, like anal retentive, back off. It's Saturday, it's weekend, and people make mistakes on texting, talk text, and emails. And talk emails. It just happens. So it starts with confused, big question mark. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes, that seems to me too long. What is the real answer for oil change intervals? Now, we've probably been down this road 200 bajillion, gazillion, gadillion times, but it is still a great question. Why is that? Because here is a lady is keeping an eye and thinking that's a lot of mileage between oil changes. She's right for bringing that to the table, let me tell you. And the email went on and said that, that's what the manufacturer calls for. Well, you know what? Here's the deal. And you can watch the Motor Oil Geek, the Car Guy, the Car Care Nut, and you're going to hear the same answer from them as you're going to hear from me. And I've been saying it, I think, longer than these fellas, perhaps. Maybe not. Could be. Not sure. But I changed my oil. This is me. I changed my oil and filter, top quality oil, no cheesy oil, no bulk oil. And the reason I say that is when we had bulk tanks in our shop, I knew where the oil came from. And I knew whose oil it was because the tank that it went into would have their name all over it and their colors. So that's why, and we were doing big trucks and stuff. So, bottles of oil just doesn't work when you need 37 quarts of oil to do an oil change on a truck. That's a lot of bottles, if you know what I'm saying, and a lot of time wasted cracking them open and dealing with them. But today, bulk oil, there's some places I can buy oil off the shelf, and it's called house brand, but they don't even tell you whose oil it is. Even if you go Googling it online, it's not on the bottle, and they don't tell you. So you don't know if you're getting recycled motor oil. So that's a topic for another day. As even my pops just said last week, he switched places where he's getting oil changes. He goes, I'm going to your friend Dennis now. He goes, I've had an oil change 2 weeks ago, and I pulled the stick out and check it, and it's still golden clean. He goes, when I go to the other place, the same day I can dip the stick, and it's black already. What kind of oil is he using? I said, from really good dinosaurs. Yeah, I didn't have the answer. I said, it's got to be the product. And I'll ask him. I said, did you ask him what product he's using? So here's the thing. I changed my oil and filter at 3,500. I know I hear a scream already. What? Yeah, I throw out better motor oil and filters than most have on your vehicle in your driveway right now, this very minute. And the reason for that is the teachers and instructors that I've had all these years, 44 plus, that's actually on the low side. But anyhow, it's close enough. Yeah, for the friends we keep. Right. Engines aren't cheap. And they're not getting any cheaper. Oil and a quality oil change, that means no cheapy oil change. No. No, plus no, times no, equals no. And changing it on time. Extending these oil changes, I put several videos out on that already and podcasts. That's a no-no. And I'll tell you what my factory rep told me many years ago when I worked for Volkswagen and they sent me to a dealership. I cannot say. Yes. And here's the thing. I'd say, what's with these extended oil changes? Like the first one right out of the gate, brand new vehicle off the line, 8K, and then you jump to 16, then you jump to 32, 64. See how it goes up? 16K between oil changes. I go, Mike, like that's way too much, dude. He goes, well, you know, he was Bavarian. Well, you know, Niall, is not the gospel, is only suggestion. That's what he said to me. And that's when I figured out, that was, what year would that have been? 2000. And that's when my rep said, the maintenance schedule in the manual for the product is just a suggestion. But do they tell you that? How many of? Tell me in the email. Send me an email and tell me how many of you have bought vehicles. I don't care what flavor it is. Has the salesperson said the maintenance schedule is only a suggestion? Let me know. I'd love to know what they're saying out there. Because I used to tell the sales guys, look, you got to tell people when you're doing the car delivery, you got to tell them this stuff. Because that's way too much. So here's what's happening. I'm going to tell you what's happening. That there's a couple of brands out there, and Toyota's one of them, that if you take their advice on the oil changes, you're going to blow the motor out right clean out of it. Because what's happening is it's creating the length of the time the oil's in there is creating a lot of varnish and sludge. And these engines are running very tight tolerances. That's why we're seeing 0W20. And that is way too thin. If I have a vehicle that comes in and I'm doing some work and videoing and it needs a service and it's 020, it doesn't get 020. So I'm not going to tell you what I do, but it works, and it works very well. It's going to save that engine from blowing up. And I educate the customer at the same time. Not really customers, but their clients helping us out, and we're helping them out at the same time, is just educating. Change the oil and filter, and listen to me very carefully. Insert right index finger in right ear. And fellas, you can do whatever you want. But ladies, change it every 5,000 K. Trust me. It's your engine, and knowing the tolerances in there and what happens when you extend the motor oil, it affects things like, okay, now I'm going to give you the hardcore stuff. It affects oil pump delivery, pressure, and return. It affects the valve lifters, and it plugs up the holes where the oil has to bleed through. It also damages the variable valve timing clutches on the front of the camshafts. They plug up with varnish, and then the oil pressure is not getting in, so then the engine starts to run incorrectly, and now you're getting into bucks. And the worst thing is it sludges up the bearing tolerances that are already super tight. That's why they're telling us 0.20 oil. If it gets any thinner, it'll be fish oil will be thicker. And what's happening is that sludge is more than enough to take up that space that the oil has to travel through. So then main bearings and connecting rod bearings aren't getting enough pressure and oil delivery. So guess what happens? Engine goes kafoofnik. It's over. The bearings score. The motor's finished. So that's what's going on out there. So change your oil and filter. We don't want any cheapy oil filters and cheapy oil. And I can hear the synthetic people screaming at the top of their lungs, "You idiot." Well, maybe so. But if it's my engine, it's my engine. You do what you want to do. Synthetic or not, I'm recommending to you dump your oil and filter at 5K. Don't do this extended oil change thing, because that's what they're tricking you, the consumer, into doing, is extending a very serious service, and it's going to take out your engine, not theirs, your engine, and you'll be paying. Trust me. They won't just say, oh, we're sorry about that. We'll put an engine in for you at $16,000. Yeah. How many oil changes could you do for $16K? A lot. So you can fact check me. A couple of online influencers that I've followed for years now. Car Care Nut. He's a Toyota guy through and through. He just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going, well said. The, what's his name now? Oil Geek. The Oil Geek. Yeah, you got to check him out. His name is Lake. His father is Lake Speed. And he does NASCAR type oil testing. So he's saying the same thing, and he has a brand new Toyota Tundra. And then the Car Care guy, fantastic channel as well, because he follows all the campaigns and stuff that are going on with the manufacturers and things that are exploding that shouldn't be exploding. So those three fellows come right alongside with what I'm telling you. Change the oil more often, not less. I don't care what flavor the oil is, synthetic or not. We have synthetic running vehicles here, especially the European ones that go out to the car fundraising events, and they don't do a lot of mileage. So you know what? The oil gets contaminated fast. Synthetic oil doesn't have a sensor that says, hey, I'm contaminated beyond. I got too many acids and moisture building up. You need to change the oil now. Let me know if you have a car that does that, because it doesn't. You have to be the monitor. You have to be the monitor. So for the average everyday Joe, now I'm going to share you something for all you synthetic gurus out there, synthetic oil huggers that you are. This came to me in a lunch meeting with a oil manufacturer engineer from one of the huge companies. If I mentioned it, you would certainly know it. Here's what he told me when synthetic oils and semi-synthetic oils started coming out. He said the average Joe that drives their vehicle to and from every day will never get all the feature benefits from a bucket of synthetic or semi-synthetic oil. Not the message, just the messenger. And that was back in 1992. Yep. I could tell you where we ate, what we ate, and everything. Just like women can. Yeah, they remember everything, fellas, remember? Yeah, just ask. I can't remember. They'll tell you the date, the time, what they were wearing, and the whole 9 yards, the barometric pressure, and what time the sun came up and went down, and what song was playing on the radio at that time. So, Yeah, this engineer looked me right in the eye, and I said, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Serious as a heart attack." The average Joe driving up and down the roadways will never get all the feature benefits out of synthetic oil compared to a good quality conventional oil. I said, "Well, who gets all the benefits?" He goes, "The racing world." He said they need the synthetic in there because it dissipates a lot of heat. But if for average Joe, it's a waste of money. His words, not mine. Just saying. All right. So Cheryl, great question. My advice to you is change every 5K. I do 3,500, and that's why I have almost 400,000 kilometers on our 07 FJ, 319,000 on our 98 Honda Civic DX. That's how you do it. You need to change it more often because that's the big money. That's the big money item is your engine. So thanks for that, Cheryl. Every 5K, quality filter, quality oil. No cheapy drive-through oil change garbage because that's exactly what it is. Their filters are cheap and nasty. They're garbage. Number 2, no disrespect there. But, it's my engine. Not yours. That's the way I answer those questions. Not my engine. Going to be treated like that. When it's yours, you can do whatever you want. Tracy asks, there's a vibration at different speeds and it comes and goes. Should I be concerned? Yes, absolutely. It sounds like it could be in the drive line. It could be a half shaft. The bearing going, could be a wheel bearing. It could be something as simple as we've got a tire or two that are affected. It could be tread. The tread's uneven. Could be an alignment issue. It could be just as something as simple as a re-wheel belt. Never mind. But rebalance the tires. Yeah, rebalance the tires. And you should have your tires every year when you're switching up from summies to winters to summies. It's not a bad idea to just have the tech throw them on the balancer because that's what creates premature tire wear. There's a lot of things that create premature tire wear that many of you aren't doing, and we will share that in a video shortly as well, and also a podcast. Because tires are expensive. And I'm just looking up some tires for our Skippy because she hit a pothole about 6 weeks ago that actually folded an aluminum rim. I've never seen that happen in my entire career. It didn't break the rim. It didn't damage the bead on the tire. It actually collapsed the rim. It's no longer round. It's oval. And I've never seen that happen. So that pothole had to be big enough to swallow a Hyundai Accent, and it totally blew out the tire, and it was a run flat. Ripped it wide open. So we're looking to get that one figured out for her. So I've been looking up tires, and these run flat tires, oh my gosh, they're not cheap. Yeah, they are not cheap, and they don't last. So you want your tires to last. So Tracy, I would definitely, I'm going to give you the short version for anyone. If there's a vibration of any kind, concern, it is a concern. We need to know what's going on. It could be a loose wheel. And, the old country song, you picked a fine time to leave me, loose wheel. Yeah, we don't want that happening. So we want to make sure that all the wheels are torqued on and torqued properly. Not torqued off, but torqued on. There's a difference there. Yeah, because I had someone say, I'm really torqued off today. I go, how did that happen? We only torque on, not off. It's not possible. Anyways, we want to make sure all the wheel nuts are torqued to manufacturer specs. That can cause a vibration. Number 2, we could have a tire somewhere that's beginning to separate. The tire's separating. The steel belts are separating. We could have tire wear. We can have like inconsistent tire wear where it's choppy, where it's feathered, where the tire is wearing weird. Something's going on. We can have tie rod end inner or outer that's loose, ball joint, sway bar link, control arm bushings, and wheel bearing. All those things can cause a vibration. So it is a cause. It's not, the car's going to blow up, but it is. We need to find out what that is, where it is, and why it is. And that's where I recommend that you take the tech that's going to do the job on a road test so that you can point that out. So I like that she made that comment here. There's a vibration at different speeds. So it comes in and it goes out. So it shakes at certain speeds and then it's gone, in other words. So it comes in to vibrating and then at other speeds it's not there. It goes away. So it could be something as simple as we have uneven tire wear, a tire that's acting up, showing signs of wear and tear, or something as simple as a wheel balance required. So get all 4 tires rebalanced. And what I would be doing is, if I don't find anything in suspension and steering, I'm going to run the tires up with the wheel weights that are already on there, and the machine will tell me which one is way out of balance, so I can actually pinpoint where it is. The other thing, which would have been a great question for me to ask Tracy, was, where do you feel the vibration? In the steering wheel or in your bum? In your butt, your seat. So do you feel it in the seat or in the steering wheel? Because that would determine where the vibration's coming from. So if it's in the steering wheel, you're feeling it up through the wheel, that's going to be definitely something in the front end. So we really need to pay close attention to all the steering components and verify what's good, what's not. There's something in the steering. And again, it could be a tire out of balance that's on the front wheels. If you're feeling it in your bum, in the seat, then it's coming from the rear of the vehicle. It could be a driveline vibration, could be a bearing in the driveline. It could be a half shaft if it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. And again, it could be a tire that has uneven tire wear, or again, something as simple as the tires need to be rebalanced on the back. But that's a case where I'm wanting to find the problem, not just assume. So I'm wanting to find, if I'm doing a rebalance, I want to find the wheel that's causing the problem. So if you say, I feel a vibration in my butt when I'm in the seat, then I'm going to do the rear wheels first and put them on the balancer and see if they're in balance or out of balance. And if there's one that's way out of balance, then we found the culprit. But we're going to be checking for odd tire wear. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be looking for. So great question, Tracy. Well done, you. And to the one fella that sent in a question, Robert, a great question as well. He says, I have a Toyota and have been following the factory maintenance schedule to the letter, and I'm having to add 2 to 3 quarts of oil between oil changes. That's kind of goes with Cheryl's question, the extending of the oil changes, because Toyota's really pushing the oil changes way out there, and that is causing a problem. And one of the problems it's causing is the engines start to burn oil between oil changes, and that's pretty much right on the target. He nailed it. Their problem they're having with their oil change interval suggestions is causing the oil rings to carbon up, and then they're not rotating, so then the engine starts burning oil. Guess what the fix is? It's engine time. That's the fix. Why? Extended oil change intervals is causing that. There's no fix for that. And it's probably bunged up the variable valve timing clutches as well, and maybe even the timing chain tensioner that takes oil pressure. If it's bunged up the oil rings to the point where they're not rotating, which that's what's happening here, it's eating up 2 to 3 quarts of oil. It's burning it because the oil rings are stuck on the pistons. That's huge. That's engine time. There's nothing we can do to fix that, period. It's over. She's singing, and we've crossed the Rubicon. Yeah, I'm sorry to say for Robert that the only fix there is a new engine. You're not going to put any snake oil in a bottle in that engine that's going to free up those crusted over oil rings, because if we were able to tear that engine down, you would see how crusty they are, and that they're completely bunged up with carbon. There's nothing you can throw in there to clean that out and get the oil rings working again. That's why I chose both those questions back to back on purpose. So thank you for bringing the questions in, Robert. You're in a bad way. You did the right thing. I want to say that to you. I commend you to do that. You followed the maintenance schedule from the factory to the letter, and now it's put you in a very bad spot because that motor is not healthy anymore. It's done. And it's a shame. So this is why I do what I do. And I've been carving this lane out for many years, is to teach you, the consumer, to no longer be a consumer, but be a professional consumer, a prosumer. That's what you need to be. You need to learn. You need to be open. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. If you're not open-minded to learning just the basic fundamentals of vehicle ownership, then I can't help you. It doesn't matter what I've said for 32 years on the radio and answered all the automotive questions. If your mindset is you're not wanting to do the maintenance, I can't help you. No one can help you. But if you're willing to learn some basics, and again, no excuses. I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too old, I'm on my own, I'm a widow, I'm a single mom. You're the ones that need to learn this stuff, because you're the ones that are getting taken advantage of out there in the service bays. You need to learn the basics. You need to take the time to watch our teaching videos, get involved in the podcasts, ask questions, and learn. Learn to change your mindset on how to take better care of your automobile. Becoming a really good car caregiver is going to be a huge asset to you, ladies, especially if you're widowed. Your husband looked after that, and now they're not around. It's your deal now. It's your deal, and that's why we're here. I take special care of some widows and single moms in our area, and that's why getting subscribers and helping us build our YouTube channel makes it possible for us to reach out and help even more in our Car Connection workshop and work to educate. That's the thing. You got to be willing to learn, to listen and do. Listen and do. And I'll tell you, these ladies, including Skippy just said the other week, she goes, I'm just going to listen to you because you're the real deal. She just figured it out. She goes, no, I mean that. She said, you're the real deal. Like, you do what you say and you say what you do. I've watched you. You do it. So I'm going to start listening to you. I go, well, thanks. Are you saying that I might know something? That's not possible. Because, the younger generation doesn't think we know diddly squat. And I just let them think that. Because they fall down and go boom and get, bloodied knees and knuckles and whatnot, and they need to learn by experience. That's it. I just let them take that path. But for the person that will listen, I'll teach you. Because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You have to be willing. And remember, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. If you want to be that person that knows everything, I will, honest to goodness, allow you to have that title. If you want to be the big toad in the puddle, all day long, I'll let you be the big toad in the puddle. If you want to be the one that has all the answers, I will let you be that person that has all the answers. Because a man with experience will always be at the mercy of a man with a theory. I leave you with that one. Have a wonderful weekend. We're celebrating a little bit here in the Car Connection workshop. We've just reached episode 3 on our podcast. That means we have 200 podcasts in the bank and in our YouTube channel for you to enjoy and listen and learn. And so we're officially today, Series 3, episode 201. Get out there, enjoy the sunshine. Remember, someone once told me, sunscreen goes on before you burn. Okay, got it. All right, so we don't want any crispy people out there. Enjoy the weekend. We've got some hot weather coming up next week. It's going to be hotter than a pepper sprout. I've heard that somewhere before. Anyhow, come and join us Monday morning again for another Motormouth Morning Drive. Make it a great weekend. Keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring. Peace, patience, and kindness always. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.